Ministry of Finance and Government on the Budget Transparency Initiative today, which means that establishing or putting up policy on taxes and administration should be discussed before implementation. But we are seeing many cases when this does not happen. And that creates now a problem in compliance because people have not been involved. So Private Sector Foundation Uganda and some of its members can create an extremely good forum through which we can discuss in detail and appreciate all the elements that we are talking about on any measure that is going to, or that is being planned to be introduced. And they advise us and tell us, because they are the guys who are actually implementing and paying these taxes, and we accommodate what they are talking about, then I believe, and we believe, that we are going to increase compliance in these taxes. We've got so many examples, and I think I want to use another example, but since the Director of Supervision in Bank of Uganda mentioned one, I think that is a good example that we can use. Like, for instance, I think I can be direct here. If you wakes up in the morning and says, banks from tomorrow, give us information on your customers so that we can we can tax. Of course, it is very clear that the banks were not taken on board. They have all of those requirements on confidentiality and sharing information. So it is impossible for them to, they would have guided the best way in which this should have been done. And we have seen this in other areas. So to drive compliance, I'm telling you, we have good forums in Uganda. We have associations that don't trade, Private Sector Foundation, Uganda bankers, manufacturers, so many of them that are able to really provide this forum which we can use to definitely be able to create the policies that will lead to taxes that we are able to pay and comply with. Now on the attitudes, what do we do? We are having a big issue. I'll give you a good example. PSFU does facilitate some grants, either from government or donors and things like that. And one of the requirements is that for you to access a grant, you must be a registered business. So we have an opening call today, which closes on 14th. I think that is Saturday or something. Now, there was the group of business establishments, I cannot say businesses, who wanted to participate, and they're from Upcountry. Say, oh, we want to participate in this. Can you guide us? I said, okay, you be registered, have traded for 2 years, demonstrate. So they were starting to get uninterested. Now I asked, they said, but we're not registered. I said, no, don't worry. If you're not registered, a window, you can disclose that you're not registered, but give us evidence that you, either your CDO, the Community Development Officer, or the LC knows about your business. But we'll work with you so that if you are successful within 3 months, we work with you to register your business. I said, but now when you register, now URA will be coming to pay taxes and all of that. But I said, I don't think registration is equivalent to taxes, but that tells you what is outside there. Many people feel that to formalize and get known, even within any formal setting, they feel that it is going to be needed to pay their taxes. So how do we deal with this? How much information and how do we deliver this information to all these people to understand that you don't pay taxes because you are registered. You pay taxes because you have made a profit. I can leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that elaborate discussion. Speaking of forums organized by the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, I must tell you that the very first engagement that the Commissioner General of URA, Mr. Singh, had when he had just joined the organization was at PSFU engagement.
Yes.
It was a forum, and on there, it was televised. By then, URA-TV was not around, but
Yes, yes.
NBS was.
Mhm.
And it was televised, and the CG made an oath to deepen tax education
Yes.
in Uganda. 2 years later, we've seen a lot happening from the side of URA in the tax education side. We are fulfilling some of the elements that we committed to in that space, and this is where I get to return to Sarah, and I'm going to request her to break down for us the elements that URA has been able to explore in the arena of tax education and how that is playing out. Then after Sarah, we shall come back to Wilbrod and you as well, Francis, because tax education takes all of us. There is a bit to play by banking institutions. There is also a lot to play by PSFU in the field of tax education. So let us appreciate the possibilities in the area of tax education. Starting with Sarah, what has URA done to fulfill the commitment to deepen tax education in Uganda?
Thank you. URA has done a lot of countrywide sensitization, tax literacy campaigns. We currently have the Tujenge bus that has been able to go countrywide. This bus is a one-stop office point. You will get a tin, they will do registration for you, everything is done there. And this has really given us a lot of mileage in terms of awareness and campaigns, because this bus has been able to go into the grassroots and do a lot of sensitization. We also have what we call the Instant Tin, which is one of our digital solutions. We realized that getting a tin was really becoming cumbersome, and yet people needed tins to do transactions that would still bring into tax. So this Instant Tin has really been the changer, because you will be able to get your using your national ID, the NIM, and then a telephone number. And it has become very, very good in especially the businesses to facilitate that. We also now have what we call the URA WhatsApp help, and you can be able to WhatsApp us and you get feedback. We have the call center. The call center manages all informations, all the types of communication lines, whether it's Twitter, email, WhatsApp, telephone call, toll-free calls, and we have improved it so much, and there are staff that deal with that. The staff work 24 hours, so it makes our work really easy so that we are able to do this. We've had a number of tax catalysts, field visits, and we've done a lot of translations of tax literacy material in the different types of languages, and this has eased our communication skills, our communication strategies. So it is very, very important. Simplified presumptive tax return, and we are planning to simplify it better, including rental tax, including individual income tax. We are looking at a situation where if I have my income, I should be able to use my phone to pay tax. I don't need to come to URA. I can understand this tax very well. So simplification of the tax laws, simplification of processes is what will make us really be there. So it's very, very important. And then even as we do awareness, we want to really put across to all Ugandans that let's be patriotic, let's love our country. This is our country. We must be the ones to contribute this tax to our country to develop it. And so this informality is really something that is just an excuse, but we want everyone to understand that tax is mandatory for every citizen. It's what supports governments to provide all the different services that they have to do. So we feel that in this collaboration, working with the Bankers Institute, the PSFU, we can do so many trainings. We can do a lot of communications in banks. We can have our leaflets in banks. When somebody walks into the banking hall, he will be able to pick a URA leaflet and say, hey, this is URA information, yes. We also feel that the people in the banks, the front office, should be able to have at least some basic knowledge on tax, so that when you are interviewing a taxpayer, or sorry, a client, you are able to ask basic questions about tax. Have you been able to get a TIN? It's important that you get this TIN. Businesses won't grow if they don't pay tax. That is what the informal businesses should know. If you want your business to grow, you will not grow if you don't pay tax and if you don't formalize. Because if you formalize, the banks will also give you more loans. They will want to engage with you more, and then you get businesses because of being formalized. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I just want to remind all the executives we have here at this point that the slide channel is open. The code is on the screen that's right behind me. You can join the conversation by contributing an idea or making a remark using the Slido platform. Wilbrod and Francis, Wilbrod, you will go first. Speak about the place for tax education within the banking area.
Thank you once again, and I like energy in that perspective. Obviously, awareness tax education is critical for any initiative, and I'll share with you a few experiences in the banking sector. We have learned a lot that engagement, knowledge, making things simpler, increases uptake. As I said, the industry has unleashed quite a bit of digital platforms lately, and we are continuing to invest. And it became clear that educating people, making it simple to use, to apply, so it becomes a part of your life. It becomes part of you, the way phones have. Look at a country like Ukraine. I'm sure you are aware they are fighting. Where do you think they are getting that energy level in spite of confronting a superpower? That type of energy, it takes deliberate effort and working together. And that's why we appraise and upload this partnership. That yes, we have of customers we meet, we can engage them, same as URA, in different ways. I think the question would be, what is the incentive for the bank to do that beyond preaching nationalism and patriotism? What does the bank get? What frameworks can be built so that indeed there's this for me beyond priority, patriotism? What is in it for me? That's a very important question. And I think there can be a very important and interesting conversation there. You participate as a partner. I wanted to add two things on opportunities and ways. I think one of the speakers talked about value chain opportunities. Let me give you an example of how financial institutions play a big role. For lack of any better example, we finance breweries in the country. They buy different products, agricultural products that end up in beer. Behind that, there are growers, there are transporters, there are suppliers. There's a whole value chain. That can be a very interesting area, and if you identify 5, 10, 15 value chains in the country of that magnitude, and in there, behind that value chain, we put in place a framework that identifies the tax opportunity as well as the incentive. There are quick wins there. The other last example I wanted to give you is the power of small transactions. And we have stories in this market when phones used to cost so much and when they became cheap. And we are seeing the volume of small payments, small transactions below 50,000. Today, the volumes done under digital channels of those small amounts are in trillions, and they are growing in bounds. URA can make tax collection at that point. Make it simple. Don't collect too much so that It's painful. Start small. You know the concept of pay as you go. You don't feel it very much. You do a transaction, pay a little bit of tax. It is small initially. You do 3 things. 1, you are collecting revenue. 2, you are expanding the base, especially from digital platforms. 3, you are building a database. And that's why you heard the EDS saying, sometimes don't be blinded by short-term objectives. I know you are under a lot of pressure from Kagwa to raise taxes, but in the medium 5-10 years, you have built a huge database of, 20 million, 30 million people digitally doing small transactions all the time. You've built databases. This is sustainable, and the power of small numbers. I think you know what some of the telecoms have done. I don't want to mention names and be conflicted, but it tells a very powerful success story. And I think we can use this to benchmark. Thank you.
That was a million dollar moment right there. We appreciate it so much. Francis, you are going to speak about the place of tax education from the PSFU sector, but you will also give us the parting shots. And parting shots are best said with your chest, speaking directly to the mic, because in your session, some elements were missed because people were not really getting what you're saying.
Sorry about that. Thank you very much. And I think I'll just add my voice to my previous colleagues, but I only tweak it a little bit to say that the education, the tax education, should be able to connect with the taxpayers. So how do we build that connection? How to build that connection is to decode the messages to things that really are very close to the taxpayer. And the example that Sarah gave is wonderful, like to let them know that you can succeed if you are registered. And we've got statistics that indicate that the companies that don't, the death of companies, those that are informal die more than those that are registered. That gets close. Now, for associations like in the PSFU network, the PSFU has about 307 today associations we work with. But under us, we have about 2.6 million business establishments. Now, the 2.6 million establishments, how do we reach them through our network? That is the platform that we really have. So I would suggest very clearly, and already a number of our members are working directly with the URA in the tax education area. Let us now widen up. Let us expand the partnerships to bring in more and more associations, but also, as I said, make the information, the knowledge that we are offering to them closer to their heart. Now, working with associations has a lot of benefits, and perhaps maybe this is my parting shot. The benefits in associations that you have very many business establishments brought together, and many of the associations have business code of conduct, meaning that their members are able to comply with certain minimum principles. And one of them is that they are playing and they are doing business ethically. So if you're doing business ethically, it means that things like taxes, you also are complying and paying your fair share of the taxes. But how do we get businesses in Uganda to be in associations? Today, our constitution does not, you cannot conscript anybody to associate with anything. It is voluntary. You can either join an association or not, but you can do business and benefit from all the things. So we cannot change the constitution as such, but there are things we can do in our organizations that can motivate the entry of business establishments in associations. So by doing that, they'll find a culture, they find a practice, they'll find opportunities for information that will help them as the business establishments grow. And then when they grow, they register, so we'll be able to reduce on the informality, and you'll be able now when they are ready to pay taxes, to actually collect the taxes. So my message to everybody here is, please help us to encourage every business you operate with, you work with, you engage with, to join an association, an industry association. And then from there, we will reach them and do the incubation service that we are meant to do. And this will make our economy a better economy. Let me end by thanking URA for inviting us and giving us an opportunity for to share with you in this platform. But also allow me to thank our members, the banks, for the excellent job that they are doing in this economy over the years. We were very worried when COVID struck, but these guys came forward and said, we shall support our borrowers, and they did, and we are very grateful for that. So, as PSFU, as the members of Uganda Bankers and the banking fraternity, that we are really grateful for the effort that you are making as the banking sector to finance businesses in Uganda. I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to a wrap of the panel discussion. But the conversation continues by way of Slido. We are living in the digital era, and my brother Ronnie Abasa is here to ensure that no conversation is lost on us.
That's right. Thank you so much, Solomon, and a round of applause for all the panelists. Solomon, if I can borrow your mic. We have a few questions that are coming through from Slido.
Okay.
And
check, yes. And I'll just be addressing them to you, and let's attempt to answer them as short as possible, but yet still answering as much as possible. And the first question is really open to any panelists. And the question is, can the related parties agree on a confidentiality clause that allows for sharing of information with relevant key authorities for the greater country good? I don't know who wants to just respond to that one. Yeah? The Bank of Bankers seems to be jumping in. I'll allow you to give a quick short answer, then the rest are maybe read for your questions and give you a minute to answer each of them. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I answer, it is nice to hear a gratitude or thank you. About the banks, you know, most times we get a lot of beating, but it is nice and reassuring.
The bankers one more time.
Yes. The question of confidentiality is sensitive, but the country has a data confidentiality, data privacy, legal framework. The owner of the data, the customer in this case, needs to consent. And any framework that involves their consent, their direct consent, and their ways of giving it may enable that process to happen. But it must be within the framework, the legal framework of the Data Privacy and Confidentiality Act and subsequent regulations. I think what you must be careful about is what message it can send and scare away other would-be borrowers. And I think Commissioner Sarah was quite careful about how that is approached. The objective is to expand the base and identify taxable opportunities. Yes, consent could be one of the ways, and the framework with the consent of the data owner could happen. But I think without scaring those many customers that Francis mentioned, it is persuasion, incentivization, and building that culture that is important. And whereas it takes time, measures to chase away potential would-be taxpayers, we must be careful that that doesn't happen as one of the unintended consequences that were mentioned. Let me also say one thing. Thank God Mr. Kagwa is here, Commissioner General. We have had discussions with, at the Central Bank with the Governor and across all CEOs. And we've agreed that we need a separate dialogue with you, the Minister of Finance and URA, and sit down and we will share many proposals around domestic revenue mobilization, but we also want to achieve one thing. that financial sector matters, financial sector bills, financial sector legislation, because of its criticality, our mother ministry sees the importance of timely acting on them so that they get their way to Parliament, the necessary legislation is passed. Because many things have delayed. We have many things in the MDI Act and many others that have stalled for nearly 10 years, Credit Reference Bureau. All those things would have expanded financial sector growth, but they've taken so long, and we've now agreed that we need a framework where every year we sit with you in advance, contribute to domestic tax mobilization initiatives, but also talk about necessary legislation for the financial sector so that it makes its way to the budget speech by way of finance bills in time, annually. So we don't have a situation where financial sector legislation is taking 10 years, 5 years to pass. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. In the interest of time, I'll just read one question to the other two panelists and just give you a minute or so to respond. But worry not, all your questions will be answered here on the platform, and just stay tuned for those. This one I'll take to the ED himself. Any suggestions from Private Sector Foundation ED? Ways to encourage more people to embrace formal ways of carrying out business, i.e. banking and hence taxation. Any suggestions?
Thank you very much. Yes, how should we encourage people to embrace formalization of their businesses? One, by educating them, by giving them the information why it is important to formalize business. I can tell you for sure that 60% of businesses, or actually 65% of businesses that collapse in the first 5 years are informal businesses. The formal ones don't collapse. The second thing is that if you want to partner and work with others in your businesses for growth, you really need to be formal. A bank will want to work with a formal company. A donor who is supporting, who can support your company with a grant, wants to work with a formal company. And many other people, even including getting contracts. I know very many, we have a program at PSFU that links smaller businesses with larger businesses. I'm telling you, when you look at the requirements to supply a bigger company to expand your market, they require all these formal things. So you cannot expand your market without having to be formal. So those are things that we can put in a package and give to the companies out there, and encourage them to formalize their business. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that precise answer. And Madam Chelengat, this one is yours. You mentioned DTB being the only bank doing stamp duty payments or creation of PRNs. How can my bank, also be enabled to do so?
Maybe I will ask someone from finance to respond to that. Yeah, Diana.
All right, I think Madam Diana will do that, and that will be the wrap up for our questions for now. So you do us the honors, Madam Diana.
Thank you very much, Sarah, and thank you everybody for the questions. There are various opportunities that are available for banks to participate in different services, and usually the process is just an expression of interest. You need to write to us and let us know that you're interested in participating in this kind of service, and we'll go through the process of formalizing that arrangement. So please do let us know, please do write, and we will engage to onboard you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diana. And I think a round of applause to our panelists as well. I'll ask the DJ just to give us some music as they walk themselves off the platform. And of course, we are going to be in touch with you just to respond to a few more specific questions, but in the interest of time, yeah. Let's clap for them one more time. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to the beginning of the end, and the end is also going to be a short one. Just to give you heads up, we have a little appreciation for each one of you, so don't be in a hurry to leave. We don't want to take our appreciation back with us. But right now, for the moment I told you about earlier on, all of us have done a great job towards supporting, revenue collection. But a few of us have been a little more outstanding than others. And we'd just like to, like the good book says, to give honor where honor is due. And so we had 25 banks participating in this, competition, if you like. And we're going to be awarding 3 categories: the most compliant bank, the most innovative bank, and best in client servicing or services bank. And without further ado, remember there'll be a winner and a first runner-up. I'm sure when we announce, you'll all agree that the winners are legitimate winners. I don't know if there's a court of appeal if you are not happy with the results. But ladies and gentlemen, right now, starting with the most compliant bank, the nominees were all of you. The winner is
compliant bank. This category had parameters of these key parameters originate from the collection agreements between URA and the commercial banks. They address compliance to the agreement as a legal instrument in revenue collection. This winner has consistently shown high compliance levels by minimizing errors, accurately remitting the daily collections to Bank of Uganda in compliance with the provisions of the collection agreement, timely resolving of issues reported, and has consistently performed at 99% above the standard. The management of the bank regularly engages URA with high levels of professionalism and always responds to the required system upgrades and all other issues reported. The winner of this category emerged with a rating of 23 out of 28, which makes it a score of 82%. The winner is Bank of Baroda.
Oh, Bugalo for Bank of Baroda. And I'm going to ask our CG just to come and do us the honors of giving out this first award. DJ, can you give some music? And the rest of us, show some love to Bank of Baroda for being the most compliant bank. DJ, some celebratory music as they make their way. You can even see they walk with compliance. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, and like we told you, we'll give out a winner and a first runner-up. In the category of most compliant bank, the first runner-up goes to Citibank. DJ, work with me here. Citibank. you hoped you would win, but someone else has won. You can still clap for them. Thank you so much, Citibank representatives. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. DJ. For the next category, allow me invite the Acting Director, Economic Affairs, Mr. Moses Kagwa, to give out this particular award. But before you do, sir, let's find out who the winner is. For most innovative.
Most innovative bank. This category had parameters of the operational relationship is facilitated by computer systems. Commercial banks run core banking systems which are linked to the UR8 e-tax system for interaction. In addition to complying with the required system configuration, the bank is required to develop robust systems, channels, and modes that require less human intervention and minimize errors in facilitating the revenue collection process in partnership with URA. This winner has been very innovative in developing systems that are robust in eliminating errors such as duplicate PRNs, expired PRNs, used PRNs, PRNs with wrong amounts, credits with no PRN details, and wrong reversals. This bank has automated bank statements that are delivered to accredited personnel via email on a daily basis and also serves several clients through a variety of payment modes. This bank has constantly come up with innovative ways of supporting revenue collections, such as self-service mechanisms for visa fees collection, as well as use of visa card systems, amongst others. The winner of this category emerged with a rating of 12 out of 12, which makes it a score of 100%. The winner is Guarantee Trust Bank.
Oh, Bugalo. Mr. DJ, give it up for GTB, and Mr. Kagwa is coming to do us the honors. Come on, dance like winners now. You can see the smile on his face. Congratulations for being the most innovative bank. The lady is saying also, may I want to be in the picture, let me hold. She knows holding the award can help her in the next appraisal. Thank you so much, Mr. DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, the first runner-up, and I'll still invite Mr. Kagwa to just return for this one. He's also very excited. For the first runner-up, most innovative bank, the winner is a bank. And this bank comes from Wawelu. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for KCB. Well done. Congratulations, Mr. DJ. Let's give KCB Bank If you are clapping, you clap. And clap with love and a smile on your face. Thank you so much, KCB. Asanteni sana. Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. DJ. And for the last category, I'm going to invite our Commissioner Corporate Services just to come and do us the honors of giving out the category of Best in Client Services or Client Servicing. And again, of course, the nominees are all 25 banks. I can see some of you have fingers crossed. You didn't get the first one. You didn't get the second. Surely, there are only 2 left. There's still a percentage that you can still get one, depending on how well you've been doing. Let's go to this category.
Best in client service, responsiveness and timeliness in resolving client issues as well as strategic support. This category had parameters of banks exist in both territorial and international spaces. They serve and support both local and international clients. Their existence in these spaces allows them to attract all categories of taxpayers who require these services, advice, and support to fulfill their tax mandate. The winner in this category has demonstrated swiftness and skillfulness in resolving and responding to client issues, provided 1 service points in conjunction with URA to enhance the collection of NTR and other taxes to URA. The bank employs various payment modes and channels to meet the ever-evolving technology needs and has saturated its presence at various border posts to maintain reputable supply. They exhibit efficiency in queue management despite the influx of taxpayers, set up several customer service points, hosting mobile money payments, and employing various agents for taxpayers' convenience. The winner of this category emerged with a rating of 10 out of 12, which makes it a score of 83.33%. The winner is Diamond Trust Bank.
Let's give it up for Diamond Trust Bank, Mr. DJ. Come on, let's clap louder, louder, louder for Diamond Trust Bank.
Congratulations, you're in the glory of God.
Best in client service.
He has done it for you, and you will come back with a new
You know it matters what name you give your bank.
Yes, you will
Diamond, you can
with
see.
a new song of praise. God is good. Oh, congratulations.
They were not expecting to win, that's why they sent only 1 representative. They are going to be in the shop when she goes back heavy laden with awards.
God is good. Them say that I can never be all that I see. I've seen that God is greater than.
Thank you so much. Richard, we have 1 more to give away. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't win this one, really, you have not won anything. You need to pull up your socks and do better next year. And the reason we do these awards is really to encourage you to comply, to be innovative, to serve the clients, and to collect a whole lot more revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, the first runner-up and the last award for tonight. As banks, we all serve people, but this particular bank has been rebaptized as the People's Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, first runner-up, best in client service is none other than Centenary Bank. Mr. DJ, Centenary Bank, let's show them some love as they come. And you can see how Mr. Fabian is standing tall. In the number of people this bank serves, you just need to visit the bank and see for yourself.
I told you in Christ that you can never lose. Oh God,
congratulations, Mr. Cassia, your entire team. Continue to serve the clients.
congratulations, you're in the glory of God. Congratulations,
Thank you so much.
He has done it for you, and you'll come back.
You can see these ones we're expecting to win the topic class over here. Thank you, Mr. DJ. And right now, as we come to the end of the end, I'm going to indulge our CG just one more time to join us up here. And we have a gift for all of you. But for some of the banks, you're able to send your top management. And we'll just like to hand over these gifts to you. So CEOs, MDs, even as we invite you forward, please come with the rest of your team. We'll have a package not just for you, but all the representatives that are here today. So I'll invite Diana and the CG just to come and do us the honors of giving out these tokens of appreciation from the Revenue Authority to you. And this is in no particular order. I just have an attendance list. The first one, I'll be inviting Madam Grace Melissa from EcoBank and the EcoBank team to just come and receive on behalf of EcoBank. And let's just walked out. I'd seen her here earlier. But we'll invite the EcoBank team nonetheless to come through. Let's make haste. As you come, these are not awards. That session ended. These are just tokens of appreciation. So don't post on Twitter, yay, we are the winners. I'll invite Bank of India as well. Mr. Vikash, Krisha and the team, you can make your way. Shortly followed by our winners best in client services, the Centenary Bank team. So once MD has picked, the counterpart can proceed to pick the But the rest of the team from Centenary Bank, if you could just join and pick your gifts on the other side as well. Centenary Bank, let's make haste. We'll now have Stanbic Bank. Madame Juko is not here, but Abraham, who used to be neighbor, is here, and we're inviting him to come back and be a neighbor. For the rest of the Stanbic crew, you can pick your gifts from the other side. Thank you so much. GT Bank. Mr. Sanri, congratulations again, GT, well done. The man's swagger even has changed. You can see how he's walking with a tilt. But I'll ask the wonderful lady to also pick her gift from that side as well. We'll invite PSFU. Thank you so much, Francis, for honoring the invite and for very ably answering the questions there. But if you have any really for them. Housing Finance Bank. I don't know if Michael Mugabe is still here or a rep. Yes, Mr. Mugabe. Congratulations. The representative can pick her gift from the other side. Of course, the Uganda Bankers Association. How could we not honor you, Mr. Wall? The Bank of Bankers. Thank you so much. The man is so tall, he can. Baroda. Mr. Kumar Mena, thank you so much for compliance. Continue to comply. I don't know if you have any Bank of Baroda representatives, please pick a gift as well. KCB, our neighbors from Waweru. Thank you so much. And if you work harder, you might jump from first runner up to winner next year. Thank you so much. The other KCB reps can pick their gift from there. Now the rest of us, I don't know. If we can make haste, thank you. DFCU, thank you so much. That's on behalf of their bosses. We have photographic evidence. If the boss doesn't get his package, we know where you stay. Okay, DFCU, thank you so much. And the others can pick their gift from the other side. Equity Bank, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll jump a bit and go to some of the telecoms. MTN, everywhere you go. If we have any MTN representatives. All right, Airtel. Do we have Airtel representative? Okay, we shall jump to Cairo Bank. If we have a representative, please do come and pick the boss's gift, but please pick yours as well. And as she makes her way, DTB, if we have a representative, please come through. Citibank, who are also winners tonight. Citibank, if you can also send a rep. Citibank, thank you so much. I&M Bank, I&M, thank you. Opportunity Bank, the Opportunity Bank. If we have representatives from Opportunity Bank, let's make haste as we come. One of you can pick on behalf of the boss as the rest pick their packages at the back. NCBA, thank you so much. We also have Pride Microfinance Bank. Pride Microfinance Bank, followed by Tropical Bank. Remember, this is all just to say thank you for all the support in revenue collection. We have the acting CEO of Standard Chartered. I'm sure you're here, Mr. Godfrey Sevana. I know you were on an important call earlier on, but thank you so much for honoring us.
And thank you. Please do receive that gift as well. Post Bank, if we have a representative from Post Bank, thank you so much. As they come through, just 4 more to go. Finance Trust Bank. This is Post Bank. Followed by Finance Trust Bank. Thank you, Finance Trust Bank. And the last 2, Bank of Africa. The Bank of Africa. And after all is said and done, how dare we not give a gift to the Ministry of Finance? And Mr. Kagwa, please do us the honors of receiving our gift to you. Oh, Bugalo. Thank you all for coming. If by mistake we did not read your name but you're present, please do pick a gift from us. But I'll now invite Diana just to come and get ready to bring us our closing remarks.
I have a Savior, a friend forever, the lover of my soul.
Our esteemed guests, the PSST, our Commissioner General, our leaders in the banking sector, MDs, executive directors, CEOs, our relationship management persons, management of URA, along with our staff. I would like to extend warm thanks and appreciation for joining us today. I thank you, and I thank you. It is one thing to invite somebody to come and engage. It is quite another thing for that person to actually come. But today we are overwhelmed by your support. We are overwhelmed that you took the time to come and spend these hours with us. My name is Diana Chisaka, Assistant Commissioner for Finance at URA, and the relationship with the banks falls squarely in my docket. So I am extremely overjoyed that you came this morning. Allow me to also thank God, who has given us life above all things and given us the ability to participate in the roles that he has given to us. The discussion today has been very enlightening and enriching, and I believe that we can continue to further this engagement and enhance our domestic revenue mobilization. A lot of proposals have been shared here, and we will continue to engage in that regard. There's been mention of how banks can participate with all our collection channels, and as I mentioned earlier, it is only a matter of writing an expression of interest and coming to us to commence the processes of integration. And indeed, there are many opportunities, especially in the area of the non-tax revenue now, as we integrate with many ministries, departments, and agencies. So we call upon you to come and engage with us. And I also thank you that you invest heavily to support this mandate at the end of the day. I would like to appreciate the banks in the performance in following through with the MOUs that we have agreed between ourselves. And the awards today are recognition of that performance. We know that there is always room for improvement, but I also must say that the performance is already at a very high level. But I urge us to make it even better every day. Perhaps we can go to 120% performance. There is no harm in that at all. I'd like to thank my team at URA, the finance team that has put together this conference under the leadership of Manager Clemency Onalongo, along with the entire finance team. Thank you for doing a splendid job today. And I pray that each and every one of us will be greatly rewarded as we go away from here. As Solomon once said, that the Lord should teach us to number our days so that we get a heart of wisdom. I pray that in our engagement today, we will go forward to obtain more wisdom as we engage and as we follow the mandate that has been given to us. I thank you very much, and I pray the Lord's blessing upon you. I would like to invite us to a group photo here at the front, after which we shall depart at leisure. May the good Lord bless you.
On Slido, we just have a survey feedback form. I'll ask that the numbers for Slido I just put up one more time. It will be very beneficial for us to receive your feedback. So kindly take, it won't take you more than a minute just to fill out the survey form. But let me invite all MDs, EDs, CEOs from the banks, the different ones who are represented here. Our winners for tonight, GT, KCB, Citibank, Centenary. Let's all just join for a group photo. Our friends from Finance, Nalongo and crew. And can the finance team please give us the contact of their tailor? Someone has been asking for the contact of the tailor, because really, you guys planned to outshine us. You didn't inform us. Yeah. If the cameraman didn't come with a lens, you are not compliant. Maybe some of us, I don't want to say those who are not vertically gifted, but those who are willing to go up, please go up. Otherwise, we want to say a big thank you to all of you for honoring our 6th annual Appreciation Bankers Conference. When we meet again at the 7th, we pray the statistics shall be a whole lot better. Mr. DJ, over to you, sir, as we bring this to a wrap. You are welcome to leave at will, but please, on Slido, please just take a minute. If we can put the Slido number on the screen again. Please take a minute to fill out the survey form. We'd very much appreciate that.
That I am right now wasn't holding you up, so there's nothing I can do to let you down. It doesn't take a trophy to make you proud. I'll never be more loved than I am right now.